Hello, this is Steph Chalk with TPSU at the University of Georgia, where we've just concluded a TPSU program. And I'm here with Bruce. And Bruce, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, please?
Please do.
Okay, super. And would you tell us a little bit about your role?
My role is I'm a partner with Carr, Riggs & Ingram. We're a regional firm that has a heavy emphasis in auditing of employee benefit plans.
And then as far as your day-to-day responsibilities, what do you get into, Bruce?
Well, a lot of it would be, again, facilitating that practice to get the employee benefit plan. You know, the audits have to be done either by July 31st if you have a natural year end, or October 15th with the due date. So this is that time of year, so there's a lot going on with the benefit plan world and sponsors wanting to get their audits done. So I help facilitate that with my team in Atlanta.
Good. And then during our session, you mentioned a couple of red flags that the plan sponsors would want to be aware of. Do you mind sharing some of those with the audience?
I don't mind at all. And while we don't speak for the Department of Labor, the DOL, we do go to conferences where they speak, and we get a good, strong idea and feeling from them as to what they're looking for and what things might cause them to look a little deeper and cause some, we might say, angst for a sponsor. So those could be, I mean, typically a DOL audit likely would be initiated by a participant complaint oftentimes. That's not going to be anything to do with necessarily the sponsor or the auditor or the audit itself. But then when you get into the 5500 filing for the audit, the DOL indicates that they have optical scanner abilities, and they can scan through that document, they can dissect it, they can sort it the way they want to sort it, they can look for what they're looking for. Things that they might be looking for that would cause the red flag for the sponsor, well, the sponsor's going to hear about it after the DOL gets in touch with them, might be they didn't actually attach an audit report and audited financial statements. It might be required to have an audit, as 5500s do, but they might not have had the audit done. There might be issues with the audit. They might not have had an audit done, and they might just supplied it anyways. So they'll find that out pretty quickly and respond back with a deficiency that has to be resolved. Other things might be in the area, they look at the fidelity bond. If it's deficient or not even there, they might get back to you. There might be something wrong with the certification. You might show who the trustee is, and they know that that's not a proper certification. So they're more interested in a lot of those granular type things. The audit report, the schedules might indicate that there were prohibited transactions, and those might get their interest, and they might want to, you know, dig a little deeper. It can be a lot of things. It can be a multitude of things. Nowadays, they're actually cross-referencing firms that they know are qualified to do employee benefit plan audits, and the way they know how to do that is the AICPA peer review inspection program that we're a member of, and all firms that qualify are. We have to go through an inspection every 3 years, and if you have an employee benefit plan audit, even one, it has to be chosen for review and inspection. So all that gets noted in your reports and the inspection. So if they cross-reference the audit firm with the AICPA inspection that doesn't indicate that there were employee benefit plan audits, then they feel like they might have a deficient firm, a firm that's not keeping up. They can tell if the auditor's not using the correct opinion. The opinions have changed in the most recent years. There's been new audit standards that you'd expect there to be certain disclosures. So they have the ability, from my understanding, to look at those things, and something could flag it there. So we think it's very important that sponsors really look carefully at who their auditor is going to be for their employee benefit plan, of course.
So it sounds like automation has taken a lead for both the regulators as well as those in the industry who are wanting to demonstrate that they have a quality process in and around the audit function.
Definitely. Nowadays, to be proficient and efficient in this practice, you have to use a lot of collaborative type tools to share information and to manage the project, because you're speaking with trustees, TPAs, sponsors. It could be some outside holders of investments, participants. So it runs the gamut of all the people you're trying to speak to and trying to get information in a timely fashion. And to manage that, it really does take a lot of cutting-edge technology to do it the best way.
Thank you, and thanks for sharing your expertise today. It was very valuable.
Well, thank you for having me.
We appreciate
it. It's been a pleasure being here.
Good. And is there anything else that you would like to add, and any takeaways from today?
I think this is a great program. I've enjoyed being a panelist on it for a number of years. It keeps getting better. The great questions, they're challenging questions. When you're up there with a panel, you may not have the answer, but likely one of our panelists is. So I've always enjoyed the content of the programs, and it's been a great opportunity for us. Thank you for hosting CRI in this television series here.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you. And that concludes our program at the University of Georgia.